guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am super excited because if you guys saw my last video on my Colourpop, my full face using only Colourpop, I told you guys that I was going to be doing a battles of the palette between two eyeshadow palettes, and one of them is from Colourpop. It is the Brunch Day eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. So this is in collaboration with Zoella. Her name is Zoe, and she's like a lifestyle vlogger, and then she also has like her page where she just like posts a bunch of different things here. But then on Zoella, it's like a whole entire lifestyle vlog, so it's like different quotes that she's made or like just random pictures of things. There she is eating brunch, and then she has her little brunch date eyeshadow palette. So she came out with a whole entire collection, and I did pick up the eyeshadow palette because one, it's Colourpop. I'm like, I always get their eyeshadow palettes no matter if I know who's collaborating or not. And just because I thought the shades were really pretty. Of course, if you cover up this blue, now you have a neutral eyeshadow palette, which is nothing new. But I felt like it was just so similar to the Kylie Cosmetics Royal Peach palette, which looks like this. So this was probably my first purchase from Kylie Cosmetics. And a lot of people, when this palette first came out, were complaining about how it smelled. And honestly, mine did not smell when I got it. Maybe it was that first batch. But this was like, I think the second time maybe that it restocked or something. I don't even know. So, and I think the number one reason is because of the blue. Because when you cover up the blue, I feel like the palettes look different now. So I feel like they don't look, well, they still do kind of look pretty similar, except for like the bottom shades there. And like this has more corally shades in it, but I feel like overall it gives me a very similar vibe. So I mostly wanted to test it out for the blue, and also to kind of just do a fun little look with both of them. And I also picked up the Colourpop times Zoella, and it's because I just love their Supernova Shadows. You guys know this. So this is in the shade Bellini. So they look kind of similar in the tube, but then when you swatch them, they're totally different. So this is Bellini. It's like a really pretty peachy champagne color, and this one is in the shade OG. And this one's more glittery, and it also has more of a pink base. So now that they're swatched, you can definitely see that they're not the same in color anymore, that they are definitely a lot different. So I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but in person you can definitely see it. So anyways, I got those two. I might be using them today, I might not, I don't know, we'll see. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the eyeshadow look. So let's go ahead and see if these two eyeshadow palettes are actually very similar to each other or if they're totally different. So I'm gonna take my little beauty blender puffy thing. One day I will remember what this is called, but until then we're just going to call it the puffy thing from Beauty Blender. Take a little bit of my loose banana powder from Colourpop, and I'm just going to go ahead and pop a little bit of that underneath the eyes there, just to catch any eyeshadow fallout. So we're going to put a nice hefty amount of that underneath the eyes. We're going to jump right into it. So I'm going to use the Brunch Day palette on this side and the Kylie Peach palette on this side. I'm going to take the shade here called Maple Syrup. Take the Morphe M518 and go ahead and apply it into my crease. My eyes are already primed, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. And then I'm just going to take, this is the EO2 brush from them. I'm just going to blend out all the edges. And then, as I always do in every single battle of the palette video, I take the little instant brush cleaner and just swirl that around. That way I get rid of any extra product. We're going to go into the shade here called Sandy from the Kylie palette. That same brush, tap off the excess. So I think the one from Colourpop is a little bit darker. Clean brush, just blending out all the edges. Then I'm going to go into the shade here called Mimosa, the Brunch Date palette. And I'm going to take that on a Crown C511 brush. Take it on the flat side of the brush and just put that on this outer area here. and in the crease, but very, very lightly, kind of like a light wash of it. And this is just going to work as our blending shade. And then I'm going to go into the Kylie one, grab the shade Cinnamon here. Same brush, already cleaned off. This is definitely darker and more red toned, but when it's all blended out, I feel like it doesn't make that much of a difference. Then, this is the brush that actually came in the Kylie Royal Peach palette. So I actually really like it a lot. I'm going to take that shade. Oh, this is the shade Brunch Club, which is the blue in the Zoella. And I tapped off the excess, and I'm just going to start lightly applying it into my outer V area. So I pat it first, and now I'm just kind of doing very light circular motions. And I am holding the brush almost towards the bottom, just so that way I don't use too much pressure. That is the first layer. I'm going to grab a little more, put a second layer, and I'm just going to press it in place. And we are going to intensify this. This is just kind of working as our base. Then we're going to go into the blue in the Kylie one, which is called Royal. Same thing, tap off the excess. I don't know if you guys can see all that powder that just came out. And same process, just kind of press it in place. So far, this Kylie one seems like it's more vibrant and more intense, but we'll see once I blend it what it looks like. I don't know if you guys, well, let me finish building it up, but I feel like this is a little patchy. It's kind of harder to blend out. Grab a little more, tap off the excess. I don't know if you guys can, I can definitely tell. You guys can see how that looks like it's a harsh line there. And this one looks very nice and soft. That's what I'm talking about it being kind of hard to blend. I'm going to have to go into the Pixie brush just to make sure that blends out nicely. And I'm just going to take a little bit more of that sandy shade. It's not that bad anymore. I feel like it's more blended now. So then I'm going to take the Pixie E01 brush, and I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Cinnamon Sugar right here. And I just tapped off the excess. I'm not wetting the brush. You guys see how intense that is? This brush is dry, guys. And then I'm using very light back and forth motions right here in the center where the two colors are. I'm going to flip the brush over, and that's just going to kind of help to blend that out some. So you guys can see just how intense that was. And that was just one time into that color. Then I'm going to take a shade called Dutchess in the Kylie palette. And the tone is a little bit off, but it's not by a lot. I'm having to go back into it. It's just a stiffer shimmer. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of this beehive color here, and this is just going to kind of make it similar to the other eye, because I feel like this shade's too gold and the other shade is too orange. Go back into the Brunch Date and take the JH40 brush, which is a nice little pointed pencil brush, and tap off the excess. And now I'm really going to build up that blue intensity on the outer corner to make it really, really pop, and also blend in the shimmer with the matte. And what I do is I kind of pat it in like a circular motion, and I feel like that kind of helps to blend it so that way it doesn't have a harsh line. And then I'm just tapping off all the excess and just very light pressure, holding it at the very bottom of the brush. Using the point of this brush to buff out the line. You guys could feel the pressure that I'm using. It's so light. We're going to go into the Royal shade. And I think that I built that up 3 times. So I'm just kind of trying to keep track to see how many times I have to build up on each side to get the same intensity. So I would definitely say that the blue in the Royal Peach palette I think is more vibrant. But I think it's powdery. So that's why it kind of makes it hard to blend. It's just a drier formula. I honestly feel like with 2 layers, that was enough. So then the same thing, we'll see after I blend this. Very light pressure. Blending out just the edges. And where those 2 colors meet too, I want to make sure that blends out. So neither of these 2 eyeshadow palettes have a brow bone, so I'm taking this Petite eyeshadow from Ulta. And I'm just going to use that to highlight my brow bone here. We're going to use the same one on both sides. Okay, and now that the heaviest part is done, I'm going to take my JH07 brush, wipe off that bake. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more of the banana powder and a Morphe E47 brush and just stamp it to clean up. That just makes it a lot cleaner. So then I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner off camera, and I'll be back to finish off the eyes and tell you guys my final thoughts. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup off camera, except for obviously mascara, because I have to do my lower lash line still. So my headband was just bothering me, so that's why I took it off, because my hair is still kind of wet. So I'm gonna dry it before I tell you guys my finished thoughts. But anyway, going back into Brunch Date, grabbing a Morphe JH43 brush, Brunch Club blue shade, and just run that across the lower lash line. It's going to give you a harsh line, look kind of crazy at first, but we are going to blend it out. So just bear with me. I'm going to do the other eye with the Royal shade. Yeah, definitely the Brunch Club one is just creamier. I feel like almost deeper. I'm going to just take a little bit of blue eyeliner. This is the NYX Faux Black Midnight color. I'm going to go ahead and just fill in my lower lash line really quick. Then to finish blending everything out underneath the lower lash line, make it smokier, I'm going to go back into that Mimosa shade from earlier and take a JH39 brush and just very light pressure, use it to blend out that blue and make it nice and smoky. And you guys can see the difference between it looking blended out and not blended out. So then we'll go back into the Royal palette, take the shade Cinnamon, and just blend that out. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's still smokier on this side than this side. So then for my inner corner, I'm going to take my E18 brush from Morphe in the shade called Champagne Toast, which is the shimmery color in the palette, and use that to brighten up my inner corner. And then on the other side, we're going to take the shade here called Seashell, which is actually one of my favorite shades in this palette. It's not going to be identical, but it'll be close enough. And then just to top everything off, I'm going to take a little bit of OG. And this is the Supernova Shadow, and I'm just going to use that underneath right here. And a little tiny dot in the very center of the eye, just to really make everything pop. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish drying my hair really quick, put on some mascara, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Alrighty guys, so my hair is done. It's not all the way dry, but it's a lot drier than it was, and I have some volume back, but this is for... So like I said, this is the finished look. I did end up pairing the look with my Tarte Gifted mascara, and I use the Gerard Cosmetics Hydra Matte and Everything Nice and the gloss in the shade Crystal, which is this really pretty like gold shade. I thought on the website it was like more of a like nude, so that's why I got it, but I think it's really pretty to do like a nice peachy look. I think it really goes with the eyes. So this is the finished look. You guys can see up close the two eyes look like. For me, like, yeah, I don't think that these eyeshadow palettes are identical. I don't really think that they're like that close of dupes. I feel like I've done other Battle of the Palettes where the two eyeshadow palettes have been like almost spot on identical, but this one is not quite the case. Even with the blue, I feel like the blues are totally different from each other. This one's more of a like tealy blue, well this is more of a navy blue. And then the eyelid is different, the crease shades are different, so they're not identical at all, to say the least. I personally like the Brunch Date one a lot better because I felt like the eyeshadows were a lot creamier, they're more blendable, And even the shimmers, like the shimmers were just so creamy. So I feel like I got the pigmentation that I wanted without having to build it up and build it up. And just the way that everything blends out, like the lower lash line still doesn't look that great on this eye here, but on this eye I feel like it looks really, really good and nice and smoky and soft. There's like a $20, almost a $20 price difference between both of the eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to go ahead and swatch them for you so that way you guys can see. So here we have both of the eyeshadows. The top one is the Brunch Date and the bottom one is the Kylie one. So I feel like when you look at the swatches, they do look very, very similar to one another. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I feel like they look very similar to one another. They're not like spot on identical at all. I would say like this one's definitely obviously more of those like peachier like coral colors. Well, these are more browns and like plums. And I don't feel like I could get the same look with both eyeshadows because this one doesn't really have any dark tones. Well, this one has like 3 different dark ones. This one also has like that shimmery color there. And then this one, all it has is like lighter peachy tones and then this random pop of blue. So I feel like if I were to choose between the two, obviously I have both of them now, but if I were to, like if I were someone who didn't have both and wanted to get one or the other, I would probably go with the Colourpop, to be really honest. And I'm not being biased because I love Colourpop, because no, Colourpop is the way to my heart. But I'm being really honest and thorough with you guys. I mean, you guys even saw the performance. I don't know what you guys think, but I just kind of feel like this eye looks, even on camera, like more bold, while this one kind of almost looks like it's lost. Like it's like very, like almost muddy and washed out. This one still looks very nice and vibrant. And I have had this makeup on for a little while because I did eat and do a few other things too and dried my hair. So I have had this makeup on for a while now, and I feel like this one is still looking really good just like when we first applied it, while this one's kind of like lackluster. So yeah, if I were to pick between the two, I mean, obviously the price is also better with the Colourpop one. It's $18. The only big difference is really the size. This one is 40, I think I want to say it's 42 or $44. That the pan size is, it's double the size. You're definitely getting double the product in the Kylie one. But I think that the Colourpop one is worth it just because I feel like you'll get more looks out of it, more versatility out of it, and pigmentation is definitely there. That is the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I am planning on doing a few more Battle of the Palettes with the new Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes that came out like a few months ago. I just haven't had the time to do it, and honestly I kind of forgot. But I am going to try to do those really, really soon. And let me know what you guys want to see in my next video. And if you guys haven't already subscribed, make sure you guys do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you guys don't miss out on any new videos. And also make sure to thumbs up the video if you guys like these type of videos so that way I know what to make for you guys the next time. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then.